Live ಇದೆಯಾ? Okay. Good morning all. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? So how many of you are from outside Karnataka? Anyone? Okay. So I should be speaking in English. Good. So you are from which state? Tamil Nadu. What about others? AP, Andhra Pradesh. Congratulations. No. You got a new government in Andhra Pradesh. So formally I welcome you to Insights IAS community, and in the course of this orientation I would like to assure you that you are in the right place with the right people and in the right atmosphere. So you have already made the decision that you want to become IAS, IPS, and anybody Indian Foreign Service? Very good, very good. IPS? Good. ಈಗಲೂ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ತರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. So there are so many vacant seats here. No, you can come. ಆ ಕಡೆ ಕೂತಿರೋರು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. Come this side. So my name is GB Vinay Kumar. I am the founder of Insights IAS. So this is the 11th year that we are running this institution. So past 10 years we have produced stellar results. We started with 40 students in 2014. Okay. So at that time we didn't have any setup like this. So those 40 students were chosen based on certain criteria. I had made them write essays. Those who wrote better essays, I chose 40 of them. When I am using I was the one who was running at that time, 2014 January. Just started as a small initiative because I had exhausted all my attempts and I had given my own UPSC interview. I had scored 210 marks in the interview. I had missed my rank by 2 marks. Meanwhile, while preparing for this examination, I had cleared PDO, Panchayat Development Officer exam, worked as PDO for 2 years in Karnataka, in Mysore district, and then I cracked the KAS exam also in 2011. So I was commercial tax officer. I didn't join the service because by the time the result came out, the institution had grown very big. The exam was conducted in 2011, the KPSC exam. Result came in 2013, and then the list was held because of the corruption case, and finally they gave appointment letter in 2021. So I strictly recommend for all of you sitting here not to solely focus on the KPSC examination. Solely, you should write the KPSC examination, but don't make it your big dream, getting into AC, DYSP or Tahsildar or any government job, right? Think only about UPSC, civil services, IFS. If that is your dream, keep dreaming about IFS, becoming a diplomat. IPS, dream, right? Becoming like Andamalai or what? That is also fine, not wrong, nothing wrong in that. But there are bigger missions, bigger service to be done to the country, right, as an IPS officer. So keep that bigger dream alive and keep thinking about it. Prepare only for the UPSC examination, and while writing UPSC or while preparing for the UPSC examination, go on giving all the other examinations. But never ever deviate your focus for the other examination. So you are preparing for UPSC, keep awaiting UPSC preliminary examination, mains examination. Any other examination that comes to your notice, apply, just walk in, write the examination, immediately come back and continue the UPSC preparation. So what some people do, the mistake is that, let us say assistant engineering, one exam barutte, some exam is called. So they take a break of 2 to 3 months, they focus on that examination, and then in between there is another sub inspector, so many exams. So when you prepare for UPSC exam, it actually covers syllabus covered in all the other examinations. The single syllabus UPSC covers or makes you ready, prepares you for the all the other examination, that you must be mindful of. That's very important, because you keep experimenting, right? So after 6 months, after 1 year into this examination preparation, little insecurity, little self doubt starts entering your mind, right? So what happens? You feel like I am unemployed, I could have got into better job, so I should keep trying for other jobs. So after like 2 years, 3 years, the pressure mounts, builds up. Not only it is self-made, self-imposed, but also peers, parents, relatives, they start asking the questions. So what is your son or daughter doing in Bengaluru? So they will defend to maybe 1 year, 2 year extent, but after that they will be under pressure to give certain justification. So this is all going to happen to everyone who is sitting here. So before you start this journey, right? So if you are sitting in the classroom today, willing to go through the most difficult path that you have ever come across, for the reason nobody sitting here has ever studied or read, right, for 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours at a stretch. ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಪುಣ್ಯಾತ್ಮರಲ್ಲಿ? Anyone? Some of you might have done maybe during your PU, except maybe during the examination, right? For this examination, when you start preparing, starting from today, for next 365 days, or for next 2 years or 3 years, minimum hours of study you have to do is 8 hours, right? For which your mind and body is not actually prepared. It is not prepared, right? It is going to be new. So you have to start doing that from today onwards. So suddenly when you start doing that, you will be confused, right? So what to study, what not to study. So in this orientation, we will like give a framework. So what should be your ideal day? What should be your ideal timetable for next 1 year, 1.5 years, right? So this 8 hours to 12 hours preparation, which you will start today or tomorrow, should be consistent, right? The one who is consistent with the preparation. So you start 8 hours today, if you maintain the same tempo, right, for next even 1 year or even 1.5 year, you can crack this examination in one attempt. So what I see is that more than 95% of the people don't maintain the consistency. There are so many breaks in between, so many distractions, right? So in the course of this preparation, so everything starts from within basically, right? Most of the distractions are not externally imposed. So during the course of the preparation, what happens is that everyone have come here from the diverse background. Some of you come from engineering background, some of you from science, some of you from commerce, some of you from humanities, right? Some of you come from very good college institution, some of you come from not so good institution, some of you come from regional language medium till let us say 10th or 12th, some of you come from English education since your kindergarten days, right? So there is diversity in the class, and some of you might have come with little preparation of your own, right? So when I sit and counsel there, when people come for admission, I ask 2 questions. Do you have the newspaper reading habit, right? So 99% of the people say what? No. You know the answer, right? They say no, right? So the reason is that our entire education system, from your kindergarten days to your graduation days, doesn't encourage you to read newspapers, right? So it creates such a pressure, such a stress, such an environment where you have to always keep focused on the curriculum, the academics, right? So 11th and 12th, so how many of you will get time to focus on newspapers? You don't get, right? And then you will take another year long term something, right? And in the long term also, what do? You prepare for the CET or NEET, other competitive examinations. So this competitive examination thing, what it has done is that it has made you detach from the external reality, in a way that what happens around us, the general awareness. So what do we call it? General awareness. In school days, we used to have general knowledge, right? General knowledge quiz we used to have, but in this examination we use the term as general awareness or general studies, right? We don't name the papers as general knowledge paper 1, right? So knowledge is the knowledge, awareness of certain information, knowing certain facts and examples is knowledge. It can be a concept, it can be a fact, but awareness, what is awareness? So you have the knowledge, you know the concepts are internalized. More than anything else, you know how to apply the knowledge, linking that knowledge with day-to-day happenings around you. So if you have studied PCMB, like physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, right? We rarely study those subjects from the perspective of applying in day-to-day life. So we study mainly from the perspective of what? Scoring high marks in the entrance examinations or in board examinations. So that is also in a way wired in your mind. All these years, whatever you have studied mainly for the examination, to score well in internals, to score well in the examination, entrance examinations. So here you have to come out of that mindset also, because you are always afraid to give little extra time for maybe extracurricular activities or for newspaper reading, because you are always scared that your scores would go down if you spend less time on what, the coaching or whatever it is, you wouldn't do well in the examination. So that fear is ingrained, it is there. So most of the people carry the same fear in the UPSC examination. So here you have to open your mind, right? You have to free your mind, you have to enjoy reading diverse stuff in this examination. You have to equally like geography and economy, you have to equally like art and culture, modern history or ancient history, and also let us say the political science or polity part, or the security issues is there, and also there is another paper, ethics, right, moral philosophy. So you have to show equal interest in all the diverse topics. So when you are attending the coaching class, when you go outside the classroom after attending the class, when you start preparing, when you are, let us say when you are doing optional or when you are revising the class notes, don't be afraid and keep away current affairs or some other part of the syllabus, thinking that it will impact your preparation. So this examination preparation, while you should have discipline, what I mean is that you should revise the class, attend the class, give enough time to pursue strong newspaper reading habit plus other extracurricular activities, such as it can be writing, it can be singing, it can be participating once in a while in any competition. Some people participate in chess competition, maybe if you are a classical dancer, go once in a month, once in 2 months, participate. And if you like to, if you are a science person, technology person, right, so if you are fond of startup, something like that, so once in a while, right, you can visit those what do you call, in India Business Exhibition Center, they organize in Bengaluru, what do you call them, what, not fest, forum exhibition, yes, all these forum exhibitions which government of India or Karnataka, there is aero show, right, if you like the defense aspect, right. So going out and attending them should also be part of the preparation. At the same time, spending like 4 or 5 hours in a week becoming good at those hobbies, right. So I personally recommend pursuing hobbies which are intellectual in nature, right. So which basically diversify and deepen your understanding of particular areas of discipline. For example, economy is part of the syllabus, but you are an engineer, so you may want to excel in economy. I mean, not excel in economy, but you have hobby with which deals with development economics or the core aspects of economy. So for some reasons you are very fond of reading that. So it's okay to give little extra time and be good with the economy part, right? Not from the examination perspective. So don't think that in GS3 you want to score better marks in economy, that is why. No, it is purely out of interest. Why am I talking about this? So why am I stressing on this particular aspect? Can anyone tell me? When I am asking you to pursue hobbies and be good at those hobbies, why am I telling about this? Huh? Yes? Not detach. I mean, one, she mentioned interview, right? So there is something called personality test in this examination. So when you fill detailed application form after your prelims, there is a column where there are 4 rows, right? One is about your school activities like scholarship prizes that you have won. One is related to sports or like sports and NCC or Scout, something like that. There is another one with respect to leadership. There is another one in the end, hobbies or interests, right? The moment when you enter the interview hall, the panel will have detailed application form, right? It's not a resume, it's basically about who you are. So there are so many details that you have to fill in those papers, right? So it starts with employment of your parents, their name, their village, their district, where you were brought up, where you studied, which course, where you were employed, right? How many years? So all these details, your preference of service, cadre, everything will be there. So before you enter, they have a detail about you. They might have gone through that and it might have created little impression about you, who you are. So in this hobbies and interest section, if you have strong hobbies, right? So they will be very keen to know more about you, not test you, know more about you, talk about those hobbies and interests. So if you develop strong hobbies, so hobby will become strong when you start early and stick to them, keep on excelling in them, right? So you will be in a authoritative position in the interview, or in a very confident way you can answer any question related to those hobbies, right? So it engages them. This interview part is the most neglected part in the entire UPSC civil service examination. So think for a moment, when you come and join this UPSC coaching, you have never thought about giving the UPSC interview. You don't think about it basically, right? So most of the coaching, most of the classes right? So you are focusing on the classes. So you want to finish optional, you want to finish GS paper, you want to focus on prelims, you want to clear prelims, again then you want to learn writing answers and do well in the mains. But you don't think about the interview on an equal weightage, right, which you give for prelims or mains. But if you want to be IAS or IPS or IFS, top 3 services, interview is extremely important. So I am starting this orientation by focusing on this aspect because nobody talks about it, right? It is kept in the end. Let me clear prelims, right? Let me clear mains, then let me attend few mock interviews and then do well in the interview. That is how things go on, but that is not how things actually work. In the interview, if you score 190 plus, 200 plus, 215 is the highest score in the interview, right? So our student, like there was Akshay Simha, 2 years before he got 215. So that year he was the only person who got 215, and I had the privilege of guiding him for the interview, and also he was the OGP student, he was the classroom student. So one of his senior, Jaydev, he got all India rank 5, he got 206. So I guided him. After Akshay Simha, there was another guy, Avinash Rao from from Davangere. He got all India rank 31 and he had put IFS as his first preference. So he got 198. It was his first interview. So all these people gave their first interview and got 200 plus marks. So we were able to guide them because they were very familiar from day one. The moment they joined OGP classes, right? So they engaged with us. How will they engage with us? They used to bring their answers, they used to bring their essays, they used to come with their prelims tests, any doubts, meet their respective mentors and also me. So I guide you with respect to essay writing and also interview. So in addition to reading newspapers, pursuing hobby, within the hobby, my personal recommendation is that writing and reading non-fiction. Writing, blogging. So you can pick up any topic and randomly write your thoughts, right? So majority of you who are sitting in the classroom haven't done any writing exercise so far out of interest. Maybe you might have written in your diary, journal, or sometimes in college essay competition might have participated. But on a regular basis, you haven't put down your thoughts in a written format so far. Has anyone done that? Do you have anyone have personal blog here? No. Diary only? Journaling? Okay. So you maintain your personal diary. So what do you write? Personal stuff. No, I mean, do you also write about politics? About India, Pakistan? No, you don't write. Good. And you boys, love letters? No. WhatsApp messages, big messages? Everyone has written big WhatsApp messages, I am sure. No. Right. Facebook only? Instagram, nothing to write. So, right. No, people do write on WhatsApp. You write sometimes. So only when you are emotional or angry, so messages will be. So you can all you are able to relate. Good. But that is all pure emotion, right? Not something that you rationally think, right? Analyze, vishleshane, vimarshe, right? Analyze and criticism. So you don't do those things, right? There is no thinking process involved, right? So it's purely emotion that you pour out. But my personal recommendation, you need to build your perspectives, diversify perspectives. What do I mean by diversifying perspectives? Drushti kona, right? So there is one issue, from how many angles you are able to analyze that issue, right? So the one who diversifies strengthens their perspectives, right? So they have a very good, like highest chances of scoring in highest marks in essay, writing better introductions in main answers and also giving excellent answers in the interview. Perspectives, right? Again, drawing from your school system, what happens is that we are made to think like a herd mentality antaralla, right? So we are trained to follow one way. So our thinking is unidimensional, right? Mainly because of fear or mainly because we are not interested in thinking from the different perspective, right? So most of the issues, most of the things that happen around us, they will have different interpretations, different dimensions. Like dimension means it can have a social dimension, economic dimension, it can have a geopolitical dimension, right? So it can also have ethical dimension, moral dimension, what we call. So if you are fond of economy, you will be keep thinking about from the majorly from economic perspective. So we need to diversify our thinking, develop the habit or cultivate the habit of looking at an issue or thinking about an issue from the different perspective. So this can happen only when you read actual newspapers, right? So number one, when you read The Hindu, and you should start reading The Hindu or Deccan Herald, any one of these two papers, or the Indian Express. Read end to end in the beginning. Ivaga don't be selective in the beginning. Yaar yenadru helli. Whoever tell whatever they want. My personal suggestion, at least for next 3 to 4 months, read newspapers end to end. Political news to sports news, right? Crime news to economy news or social aspect, government policies, whatever it is. It can consume your 2 hours, 3 hours of your precious time, but my personal suggestion is read newspaper end to end in the beginning. So when you do it for 3 to 4 months, you will start developing interests. sports might interest you more, economy part might interest you more, security news or government policies, right, or even crime news, whatever it is. So you start developing interest, and then once you start attending classes, start internalizing, understanding the syllabus, the importance of the syllabus, then automatically you will become selective in choosing the news over the course of few months. In the beginning itself, don't be selective in choosing the topics. If you are having less time, give more weightage to reading editorials, right? Editorials must be read every day. Whatever it is, whatever ideology they are putting in the newspaper, don't be selective that it is rightist or it is leftist or centrist. Read all the diverse opinions, because in a week if there is an issue, so many people, many experts, they write their opinions on these issues. So some agree, some disagree, some see it from the other cultural perspective, whatever it is, whatever be the issue, right? So if somebody is sitting in the US, they might do comparison with the US. It may be politics or it may be nature of crimes, whatever it is. So that diversifies your what? Perspectives, right? So that is the step number 1. Second, try to develop the hobby of reading other books like fiction and non-fiction, right? This no coaching institution on earth will recommend you. They want you to read notes, textbooks, Lakshmikant, right? And Go Cheng Liang, NCERT, and then they think that you will pass the examination. You will definitely pass reading by those only. So there is nothing wrong, but you are not going to become a complete individual, right? An individual who can make good decisions based on so many scenarios, right? You consider all the angles and then come up with a most suitable decision. So you will see that when you start writing case studies later, when you start attending ethics classes, when you start writing answer for the ethics case studies, you know there is ethics case study in GS 4. So you have to choose right course of action, right? So you have to think from many perspectives. So reading books, it can be moral philosophy, it can be economy, it can be on climate change, it can be on artificial intelligence. So develop at least 2 different hobbies, different interests. So one in environment or one in maybe ancient art and culture, archaeology, right? So for example, I am so deeply impressed with the Egyptian pyramids, right, and ancient civilizations. Any video, wherever it is, like if I open Instagram, I keep seeing only pyramids, because Instagram basically shows you what you are interested in, right? The archaeological stuff, the ancient civilization, the ruins, right? So it is in my bucket list. So I want to visit those places when time allows or like whenever. So I want to there is something called Machu Picchu, right, in Peru. So on a in a remote location in a big mountain, they had a civilization. I think Aztec or Inca civilization, I think. So I want to visit there. Like then there is this Egypt pyramid. I don't know how on earth they built. Right? It is I think 300-meter tall or something. So back in 5,000 years ago, there was case. Did you notice anyone have heard of Stonehenge? Stonehenge. There are stones in UK. So where they have I don't know what is its significance. So nobody has decoded why ancient people built Stonehenge. So there are big stone blocks put together in a round shape, and on them they have put other stone blocks, right? So it's kind of a worship center or something. It was built 3,000 years ago, Stonehenge in UK, and that was in UK, maybe 1,000 kilometers apart in Egypt. 2,000 years before the Stonehenge, they had built actually pyramids with sophisticated engineering technique or technology, whatever it is. So 2 civilizations apart. Now why I am talking about is that I was comparing, people claim Stonehenge as one of the wonders of the world 3,000 years ago, And 5,000 years ago, the people had built most sophisticated. There is a theory that aliens might have created these pyramids. I want you to open, there are National Geography, documentaries, how pyramids might have been built, right? There is one Tutankhamun. Have heard about Tutankhamun? No. So it's a what? 100% preserved mummy that was found, right? So some 100 years ago. So just search it and just start developing interest in those things. So I am talking about my personal interest. It was developed during the preparation of the UPSC only, when I started reading the civilizations, right? So I was so in love with the Egyptian, not in so love with our Harappa Mohenjo-daro, but more with Egypt. Since then, that hobby is there. So similarly, other hobbies are there, right? What it does to you is that it actually releases some of the pressure that you are going through the preparation. It creates passion within you, deep interest. So you feel like you want to pursue them. For example, you might have visited our website, Insights IAS, right? So when I was preparing for the UPSC examination, so I had the blogging as my hobby, right? So I used to write critically about the UPA government at that time when I was preparing between 2005 to 2011. UPA government was there. So I used to read in newspaper all the policies, and I used to radically criticize. It was extreme. Basically at that time, it was just the developing stage, right, about the understanding of the issues. So I used to write, I used to blog about those issues. And later when I exhausted my attempts of UPSC in 2011, I started writing about the UPSC stuff. In 2011, they changed the prelims pattern. So until then, since till 2011, we used to have optional subject in the prelims. Like if you have geography in mains, or if you choose history or political science, paper 1 used to be political science or geography in prelims. Second half was the combination of GS plus CSAT, the earlier format before 2011. So 2011 they introduced CSAT and this new format what we have today. But at that time the score of both CSAT and GS was combined together, right? So most of the engineers, 90% of the engineers scored like 140, 150 in CSAT, 30, 40 in paper 1, and they were getting through. And in 2013 again they made CSAT only qualifying in nature, 66.6, right? So at that time, because I had explored the internet, I used to write and all, I started writing about how to prepare for the examination, how to find sources, from where to read for this new syllabus. So it became a hit at that time, the website. So my hobby, my interest became my lifesaver. So that is how Insights on India was born. So after my attempts got over, I wanted to write about India. So I named it at Insights on India. Right, I wanted to become a writer at that because I started blogging. I thought we'll write content, we'll create content. So that's how it started. And then in 2013 the KPSC scam happened. So the door was closed. I had left the PDO job, and then in 2014 January I came to Bengaluru and started this. So it became a institution. So one of the best in South India, you can say, or one of the best in India, like top 5 institutions in the entire country today. So your hobbies and interests could also become lifesavers. I mean, I want you to become IAS, IPS. I am just saying that. So even if you become IAS, IPS, you will be distinguished, right, in your career. You will be noticed within your career when you have strong hobbies and interest. So there are officers like that. What is that? Slumdog Millionaire. Have you seen that movie? Slumdog Millionaire. कौन बनेगा करोड़पति सीन इರ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ. So one diplomat, Indian Foreign Service, IFS, Vikas Swarup. So it is based on his novel, right? So he worked in the Middle East mainly. He had written a novel. Based on that novel, that movie was successful. It went on to win Oscar Prize, right? So Vikas Swarup was highlighted because of this writing talent, right? So and then you have our foreign external affairs minister Jaishankar. So he is also a writer. So his 2 books this year in prelims, there was a question on his books actually. Have you seen that question? Right? Yes, S. Jaishankar. So they mentioned 2 books and asked the question, who is the author of these books? So when you develop those hobbies, you will not be a merely bureaucrat, right? You will get more opportunities to become minister or celebrity, right? Or I have heard that the Slumdog Millionaire has given huge royalty to Vikas Swarup. Like, we can make you rich also. So let that start from now itself, right? It has huge benefits for examination also. When I do mock interviews, people with strong non-fiction or fiction reading habit, and if somebody has the writing habit, they inevitably go on to score high marks in the interview. They impress me a lot, not because of their flowery language or good English. So even not so with good English, people who have these habits, they are able to think differently. They are able to come up with original answers, right? So they are able to show depth in their answers. Their answer will not be superficial like what most of the people give, the same answer. It won't be similar to that. It will have depth that they have gained because of the deeper understanding of the issue, because of the reading extra stuff and reading about it, both of which involve thinking of your own, right? So daily thinking of these issues will actually give you an advantage in this examination. So see this examination from prelims, mains, interview as a one unit, like organic unit, right? So don't compartmentalize prelims, mains and interview. So on your daily routine, there should be some part of writing assignment. In OGP classes, we will make you write answers. Every day we give you questions. Those who write answers, it will be evaluated by your mentors, right? If you want to go to every day, you can go every day. Our recommendation once or twice in a week. So meet your mentors. Everyone will be assigned a mentor. These are separate mentors. In addition to them, you will have your respective teachers. For example, if your classes are starting with Indian polity, so Manjunath sir during that course will also mentor you. So after the class, you can approach him, right? You can show your answers. You can get the guidance, whatever guidance you want. So similarly, when geography starts, Sudeep sir will be there. Like this, it will go on. So in between, whenever I am there, you can come with your essay, any other doubts, right? Or if you started interview preparation, you can come and talk about it. Or if you started certain hobbies and interests, you can come and talk about them also, right? So this making use of mentors is very important in this preparation. What happens when you start preparation? There is so much to study, there is so much to know, so much to learn. It should have certain discipline, it should have certain accountability, right? How many answers you are writing? Are you giving tests regularly, right? You need to be accountable to someone, and also you should constantly seek improvement, right? You write an answer today, and there should be inner urge to improve that answer, not fear that no, I should not write, I will write only after learning everything about this particular issue. That is fear. What some people do is that they will not start answer writing because they think that they have shallow knowledge, they lack necessary information. So they think that first I will learn everything and then I will start writing. So this is also from the school education system. First I will learn and then start solving the papers. Please don't do that particular mistake. So you need to improve, you need to be consistent, but to improve you have to come and approach us. Essay, ethics and interview, right, plus optional. These are the deciding factors in the examination, right. Getting 130 plus marks in essay should be your target. Everyone sitting here. ನೀವು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರೋ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ, I don't know, whether you have written something or not in your life, from now onwards, if you really want to be in the list, if you really want to succeed in this examination, 130 plus must be your target in the essay, which means when you bring essay to me for evaluation, you should get 65 plus or 70 plus from me for one essay. That should be your target. So I won't give easily 60 plus or 70 plus to anyone. So it will take at least 15 to 20 essays for you to start getting 70 plus marks, right? But some of you might have the writing habit. For example, like Avinash Rao, he was from the National Law School, he used to write in journals. So I had started giving him 60, 65 in the very beginning itself. So started giving 70 consistently, and his marks was like exactly what I used to give him, 70 plus 72 something, like 142 or something he got, right? So that year his marks were the second highest in the essay, 148 I think, second highest in the entire India in that year examination. So it is a process, right? Nothing happens overnight, nothing happens quickly just because you have gained huge knowledge. So come out of that illusion that if you have knowledge you can actually reproduce. So that doesn't happen here. It needs to be continuous. You have to keep refining your skill, right? So deepening your understanding of the issues, diversifying your perspectives. Got it? Diversifying perspectives, deepening your interest, plus refining your skills. It can be writing, it can be what about interacting, the communication skill, or it can be about how you perform in the prelims examination, right? The prelims mock test, which we regularly every week without missing conduct in this center, right? Every week, we never miss any test. In fact, we don't postpone them also. So every week you will have prelims come mains test, right? So like us, you should also be consistent. So we don't give any excuse for postponing the test. The test will be conducted. So we have been doing that. So you have to make use of them, make use of mentors, make use of the tools we are giving you. So in there will be a dashboard, right? So that is another advantage of joining our OGP classes, is that in addition to offline, we give you full-fledged online platform. So if you miss certain classes because of, God forbid, like ill health or whatever it is, so you will have online classes. So you can give online tests. You can write answers online and upload on the portal, right? So that flexibility is there, but my recommendation, make use of the offline, and maybe you can preserve your online for later revision, right? So the validity will be till next year, I think till next year mains for you people. So it's a 1.5 year course. So making use of these resources is called as smart preparation. So the definition of smart work, you might have heard hard work plus smart work. So hard work, we know that, like long hours and other things. Smart preparation involves optimal utilization of the resources, right? So whatever resources you have, you recycle them, you squeeze them, you use them to maximum benefit, right? So you have resources in front of you. What people do is that to satisfy their insecurity, they will start going after other resources, right? Did you understand this point? Did everyone understand this particular point? So to satisfy your insecurity, to overcome insecurity, what you do is that sometimes we become blind to the things that are available in front of us, right? It is there in front of us. So what we do is that we go after another source, we go after another person, we go after another website, another YouTube channel. Don't do that. You have every resources in this setup. At the same time, as I said in the very beginning, be free to explore other things, right? That is out of interest. But when it comes to writing, when it comes to learning concepts for each and every subject, so you have resources, make use of them. The smart preparation also involves saving time for yourself, right? Doing more in less time. So that is an art. Actually, you will develop not immediately, after a few months. For example, you read 1 hour newspaper and you learn most out of the newspaper. So you have to become sharp, you have to become smart in that perspective, right? So that will happen only if you are consistent with the reading habit. You start leaving out all unnecessary part. So your mind will work like that. So once you understand syllabus, once you understand the demand of the questions. Yes, come, bani kutkar. So you have to keep copies of two things in your bag all the time. One is syllabus and another one is previous year question papers, right. So now we have 29 years of prelims question papers plus 2013 to present, last 10 years mains question papers, right. These two things must be, syllabus plus previous year questions must always be with you, right. Make, half an hour to 1 hour every day, keep looking at these questions purely out of interest, right. So if polity is happening, try to solve all polity questions. Once you have exhausted all polity questions, then move to out of interest, maybe geography or economy, art and culture. So this year prelims question paper, I honestly believe if anybody was thorough with NCERT, if you had joined any classes, right, class notes, because most of them will definitely teach the basics, right. Third, last 29 years question papers. These three resources were alone sufficient to crack this year's prelims examination, right. So if you start early solving previous year question papers, so you will get enough time to revise 3-4 times just before the prelims. Majority people start prelims focused preparation after January or February. That too, they will take previous year questions only 1 month before the actual preliminary examination. Don't do that mistake. Both mains and prelims questions start early. So if Indian polity is being done, complete all Indian polity questions. Memorize, remember each and every keyword of the question, right. So all 29 years you get segregated question banks. In fact, ourselves we are releasing in another month by updating 2024 paper also our own question bank, right. So it is far better than anything in the market because we took 3 years to prepare it. So and it has like very detailed solution for each and every question. So I will see if it is possible to make it available for you people, maybe free of cost, right. So once it is released, so have a copy of that book plus mains questions. So don't go after model question and answer, just the question papers you can download from the UPSC. So download, have a printout. When the polity classes is happening, keep looking at the previous year questions and try to answer on your own, right. So if they have done completed chapter on judiciary, so try to pick up questions related to judiciary and just try writing some answers. And when you start writing answers, don't be afraid of writing bad answers. You always start like that, right. In my experience, nobody has ever brought an excellent answer in the very first instance, right. Nobody has ever brought. It is a process, just like I was talking about essay, answers also, because you have to write answers on so many diverse topics. Art and culture answer will be different, polity answer will be different, economy answers will be different, geography answer will have different demand. So you have to start writing sooner, right. So if you start writing sooner, what happens? By making mistakes and learning out of those mistakes, eventually after 2-3 months you will reach a position where your answer will start getting out of 10 marks 3 or 4 marks, right. And if you wait for 3 to 4 months to write answers, after 4 months you will be still at half or 1 mark. You got the difference. So if you start early by making mistakes, after 4-5 months, whatever, like it can be 6 months or 4 months or 3 months, so you will be in a far better position. If you start later thinking that first I learn geography, economy, polity, all other stuff, and then I will start writing, you have lagged behind by 2 years in this entire competition, because you will fail. When you start doing these things late, success rate is very low. So you might fail in prelims and mains, or if you might clear prelims, you might fail in the mains. So then the clock will go back, right. Start early. Don't be afraid. In every orientation, I keep telling these things, right. And in the end, what happens? Let us say that there are 150, 200 students sitting in the classroom. The people who actually follow everything I have told in this classroom is less than 3%. And out of these less than 3%, our toppers emerge every year. You got the point? So out of so many people, for example, out of 100 less than 3% andre, I mean it. Istralli only 3 or 4 people will actually come and bring the essay or answers. Exceptional cases 5 people. So if these 3 people are regular, right, or 5 people are regular, so among them we get 1 or 2 toppers. So we have like let's say 10 batches, like then we, from OGP we will have 10 to 15 toppers. The secret to success is, you know, being one of those 3%, right? No, I will talk about, already I have talked about so many qualities. So he is asking what are the qualities of those 3%. See, all of you actually possess those qualities, right? It is just that fire within you, right? Why you actually want to do this, right? Why you actually want to become IAS or IPS? How much you are willing to sacrifice, right? How much you are willing to give from your part, the burning desire, you know, like it should not allow you to sit, it should not allow you to sleep, no, you should sleep. You should sleep actually, like 6 to 7 hours sleep, whatever happens, sleep well, right? Of course, when you are awake, you know, you should never allow you to distract yourself, right? You should never distract, you know, distract anything that is happening around you. Don't lose the sight of your goal, that I have to do it, I have to do it, I have to finish it. So I have come with bigger mission, I have made certain sacrifices, but I have to, this is one biggest quality, it's like never giving up attitude, right? So I sometimes wonder like from where these people get the motivation to show essay like a clockwork, like every week, right? They attend each and every test. So nobody imposes, nobody actually, even we don't tell them. After orientation, we don't keep telling you again and again. So they actually want to do it, right? It is that simple. The success is so simple. You keep doing it again and again and again and again. So after 1 or 2 attempts, you are 100% you are there in the toppers list, right? This is the reason we get so many students in the classroom, right? So we know that everyone is capable, but everyone will not do it, right? So we actually keep telling, like when you come with an essay, I say that next week bring another essay on another topic. I will never say that no, stop writing it. I will never say that. Even if you have written 50 essays, I will say that write another essay. So who knows, like you can go on to become the topper that year. You can get 140, 150, right? So we never know. So that actually you have to become that particular individual, right? You have to be so strong inside, you know, like a ruthless. I used to use the word like ruthless from within. So you should, we recently did a podcast with Sudeep sir, like saying no, right? You have to keep saying no to all the noises in your head, all the distractions around you, all the troubles at your home, right? So if you develop that ability to say no to all the other things and yes only to this particular dream, so you will actually rest everything you have here, right? And rest, in fact you know everything, what else to do. Everyone here sitting here know the importance of answer writing. I shouldn't be talking about it here, right? You know it. So only if you develop good writing skills, then you will clear the examination. So we are giving an opportunity for you here to write answers, get them evaluated. So we had to remove certain mentors because people stopped coming to them, right? So we used to send messages. Then I thought these are not school children. Some people don't like that also, like pestering. If I keep messaging you, come, like, you know, so it doesn't look good also. We should not do that. So you should have that freedom and you should at the same time be clear about why you are here, right? So before you ask the qualities, where was I? Essay writing. What? Huh? Starting the thing sooner. We call them as pioneers, right? Anybody who starts something sooner, something new. So be pioneers. Start early. If you start early, by the time prelims comes, you will be ready for prelims. You will be ready for mains also, right? So now he asked me the quality. I will tell. There was a Jaydev. Before Jaydev, I take the three names. One Neha Kumari. She was in 2014. She came from Jamshedpur. She was working in Tata Steel as a manager. She was from BITS, Birla Institute of Technology and Science, right? She was a graduate of BITS. Like BITS is ranked next to IITs. After them, you have NITs. She was working when she came to know that I was starting this offline class. She left her job, right, without telling anyone. With her father, she brought all her books. She had started preparation on her own. She was lacking the guidance on what to do. So I had selected only 40 students and I had given a timetable, more or less what OGP timetable is there, but minus teaching part. At that time there was no teaching, only tests every day and every week. She came, I remember she came around 5:30 that day, first day, with her father. So in a Maruti van she had brought all the books. So on that day she came late, like after some 10 days. On that evening I was conducting ethics test. So I had given a syllabus and I had given certain references, right, for students to read. Based on that reading, I had devised a test. So she came and she said, I am looking after a PG. So where can I find PG? So I asked her, do you have pen? So she said, yes sir, I have pen, everything. Do you have paper? So yes sir, I have. So go and write the test. Ethics. So she said, I am not prepared, like, I haven't read anything about ethics. I said, these are like general questions, like, what is happiness? What does happiness mean to you? There was something question like this, right? These are general questions. So I don't expect you to write good answers, just go and write. I just wanted to test her. Without blinking, she went inside and she wrote the test for 1 hour. So I was so happy, like, she had came all the way from Jharkhand and to Bengaluru on the very first day when she was tired, coming with a long train journey and all the luggage and everything. She had still that energy to sit and write the examination even when she was not prepared. So she wrote the test which started on that day. Right? It was around January 14th or something, right? It started on that day and the same year she cleared prelims, the same year 14th. She cleared mains and she got all India rank 26, all in the span of January to next year March or April, right? So it was journey of around 12 to 14 months, right? She didn't come here with all the good preparation. She hadn't joined any coaching before, right? She didn't take coaching also. While she was there, like till mains, believe me, every day minimum 12 hours she studied and she used to be the first one to come to write the test and last one to give the paper. She took each and every question seriously, every test seriously. She kept on writing, right? So her prelims score started improving. So I was sure that she was going to crack prelims and she cracked mains because her essay that year she scored highest marks in ethics paper and second highest marks in the essay paper in the entire competition, right? She got 159 or 160 in the interview. First interview she got little nervous. Somebody actually gave wrong guidance in Delhi with respect to mock interview. So some guy did psychoanalysis. So that actually hurt her just 1 week before interview. It affected. If she had scored 200 that year in the interview, she would have been my first rank in my very first batch that year. She scored good marks in anthro. She chose anthro only while applying. See, that there was nothing, even when I think about her, she was not special in terms of remembering stuff or whatever. She had this thumb rule. So whatever you give to me, the content or whatever content I come across, based on your question, I want to recall 80% of that and show it on the paper. Till I am not satisfied, till I get that 80%, I'll keep reading it. It can be n number of times or n number of hours. I keep reading about it till I get the 80%. I want to write. Say if I have given, see at that time the essay topics used to be static on global warming, right, and things like global trade or something. So she would recall, she would try to recall and apply her mind and then write. So there were occasions even during when she had fever, so she would come and write the test, and she never went back even for a single day during the course of from first day of joining to after getting the result also. So when the result came out, it was a very small setup like this room. So I remember still cutting the cake. So in our first batch we got 4 ranks: All India rank 8, rank 26, rank 34, rank 95, rank 395. So 4 became IAS, and 4 days ago DK Balaji, right, author of the book Ethics, right, so he was the rank 34, he was in that first batch. So he became DC of Machilipatnam some 20-30 days ago, and he came to our home. We had a dinner together, first student, that connection. So it was a wonderful moment, right. So I always dreamt that our students becoming DC, district collectors. So he has become DC of Machilipatnam, right. So and Nitish K, All India rank 8, is in the finance ministry. In July or August he will also become DC in Karnataka. So he got the Karnataka cadre. The second person I wanted to talk about was Nandini KR. She was the ruthless one, right. So I say it, Neha Kumari had her own discipline. So she also, Nandini, had her own discipline. She never spoke to anyone as far as I remember, right. As far as I remember, she used to talk nicely. Whenever someone would talk humbly, she would talk nicely, she would talk, but she would not stand there for 1 or 2 minutes. Write the test, get the feedback, right, and go to your room. I don't know how many hours she used to read. I remember seeing her only in one dress for 1 year. She never cared about what she was wearing, right. So one night pant on one t-shirt, blue color, I still remember, like most of the times she used to wear that, right. Total focus on the preparation. So and 15 days before the result, and even before the interview, I had declared you are going to be All India rank 1. Her, and she got All India rank 1. She got 193 in the interview, and excellent marks in mains papers. So all like 120 plus, 130 plus, right. Optional also 340 or 350 Kannada literature. So after 2016 they became strict, optional. The marks started coming down. So and then next year we had got All India rank 5, Jaydev. This is the third person. This person, the one of the best qualities I noticed him in was he was so brilliant. He was far brilliant than me and other faculties combined, I can say. I don't have any ego to, right. So he was very brilliant, but he knew that in UPSC circle Vinay Kumar is brilliant or Sudeep sir is brilliant, right. He knew that he was brilliant when it came to law. He had pursued law from National Law School, but he had chosen Insights OGP and Insights mentors because of the track record, and he was very clear that in this field we were better, and he stuck with us. And he used to write so brilliant essays. I said these are too brilliant to get good marks, you will get low marks. Too technical, what I am trying to say, too technical. So I had to tone down. So he also got 143 or something in the essay. And then interview, he was a debater, like all international debating competitions. So in the interview I had to tame him down, like don't be aggressive, don't be intimidating, so don't scare the interviewers. So toned down. I took around 18 to 19 mock interviews. He got 206. The thing was, he knew that he was brilliant, but he was always willing to learn. And he used to always give the credit also. Like geography, he gave sole credit to Sudeep sir. So he attended all of his classes. He was scared of the geography. He learnt geography basics from the Sudeep sir, right? Similarly, essay and interview, he would always come to me, right? So even now and then he talks on the phone. The thing is, if you use as mentors from the beginning to last day, it becomes easy for us to guide you for interview also, because by then we would have understood your personality, right? I was honest with him. So if you speak like this, you will score very low marks in the interview. Just because he was intelligent, I was not like, what? I was not compromising on my feedback just to satisfy him. I was honest. In essay also, I was honest to don't write like this. And he would not doubt that feedback, right? Just because he was intelligent, he would not doubt, because in his college, the professors would have given some other feedback, right? How to write an essay. But from UPSC perspective, what is the feedback that you must give? We knew better, and he would never doubt it. Some students actually make that mistake, right? So they doubt their mentors, they doubt their teachers, because they think maybe I'm smart, or another smarter guy might have given them some feedback. Yes, come. So new admission, come. So don't be that person, be individual, have your individuality, but when it comes to taking decisions with respect to UPSC examinations, come and validate with us, right? Come and talk to us, right? Sometimes we will tell what you have taken decision is right. Just for the sake of, me sounding intelligent, I will not say just no, right? You are wrong. So I will never say that you are wrong because I want to come across as intelligent. So we are not that type of individuals. So what we want is you to become good officer, not just a topper. Only by we being humble and honest, help you develop those qualities. If I am arrogant, right, so you will also become arrogant. The reaction will be arrogance only, right? If you are avoiding me, that is also arrogance. So the thing is, here it is not just about gaining the knowledge. Yes, feel free to go and come back, it's okay, right? So it's also about becoming better individual, right? So this entire examination is beautifully designed, in my opinion. It allows you to transform yourself. So see it from that perspective. Every single failure, smallest to biggest, take them in good spirit, right? Don't be scared of small setbacks and prelims. It can be setbacks and failures. It can be in prelims mocks. It can be when you write your first essay, first answer. It can be in the very classroom. You might not understand certain concepts. Ask your teacher, right? And then go back and study on your own. As I said, constant craving for improvement. That should be there. Improvement through your own efforts plus from us. Largely be independent, right? Try to learn independently, largely. And wherever it is not possible, wherever it is needed for you, then only come and use us. Be dependent. Dependency should be less than 1%. Be independent. So try to learn as much as. So you have a framework, you have a discipline here. So what I am trying to say is that when you are doing optional, teacher will tell what exactly to read, the textbooks and everything, right? Stick to that framework 99%. 1% you can come and approach us whenever you feel like you are deviating, whenever you have certain doubts. Don't be dependent on us for everything, right? Because spoon feeding doesn't work in this examination, right? So when you get the dependency, so that creates kind of that will make you a prisoner, right? You will be afraid to take independent decisions when the crucial moment comes. So don't do that. Some people, very rarely, some people become dependent. So I don't want you to become that individual. So coming back to the earlier discussion we were having, right? Starting early, I have already spoken so many things here in this. I don't know. The beauty of my class is that nobody writes down anything, right? So they all understand so nicely. They keep listening. These things go on imprinting in your head. Or maybe it will be there on YouTube. You can watch it later also, right? So there is nothing to write down here. So what I am basically talking about is the way you have to conduct here, right? Now the day-to-day routine, minimum 2 hours of reading newspapers, right? Attending the class, compulsorily noting down what is given in the class, right? Understand, note down, right? If you are good with understanding, maybe you can go later and make notes. Third, go back, read NCERT textbooks of related topics, plus solve questions that are there in the NCERT textbooks, right? Start from the extreme basics. NCERT questions will be there at the end of each chapter, solve them. Third, previous year questions related to both prelims and mains, right? NCERT prelims questions are mains and prelims. After every topic, if you are consistent with this thing, this exercise every day, prelims and mains, you will surely crack, and your scores in the weekly test will improve. So we give 50 question test every week in prelims. Most of the people start with, like out of 100, 5, 10, 20, 30. So those who do multiple revision, solving previous year question, you will start seeing score of 30, 40 in the beginning. So as the day passes, so as the course proceeds, so your score will improve to 40 to 50, and it stagnates around 60 or 65. So only if you are copying, you will score 70 or 80. So that doesn't serve any purpose. Don't do that copying stuff and all. Whatever questions you get wrong every Sunday, same day you learn about them, you analyze. This is the this is one thing Jaydev used to tell. So every Sunday, whatever test we were giving, so he would focus more on the ones he was getting wrong. So in one of the interviews, Nandini also told about this particular thing. The questions you get wrong, right? The questions you cannot answer. Every week, make a list of those topics, focus more on them. The ones you have got right, maybe because of guessing or whatever it is, you know something about them. The ones you have got wrong, learning more about them will complete the topic or complete the subject for you. So that must be done on the same day. Every Sunday you have to do. In addition to these, when we launch prelim test series, we give access to full length prelim test series for all the OGP students. It will be there in the online, or if you want to come and write, you can write in the offline. But the timetable of that prelim test series will not be aligned with your OGP classes, right? One, you can just come and give every test out of interest to learn more new things, or you can wait for 4 to 6 months after some 4 to 5 subjects are over. Meanwhile, you will be giving test every Sunday anyway as part of the OGP. These tests you can give later also, right? So because they will be full length test, to analyze one full length test, it will take easily 6 to 8 hours. 100 questions, to make notes, to read each and every question, it takes 6 to 8 hours. So you may not get that much time right now. So once you are done with these things, but ideally it should be immediately after 4 to 5 months, like not after January or February, right? Even better, just go on giving them from the beginning itself. Just take, it's okay. Even if you don't have any knowledge, you will still be exposed to all the variety of questions, right? So when the next subject comes, by then you would have come across many different questions. So when you sit in the class and listen to the lecture, if you have seen those questions beforehand, so I think you will be in a better position to understand better, as well as ask questions in the classroom, right? Will you do this? ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Attending classes, and then NCERT exercises, previous year questions, and weekly prelims come mains test. And every mains test you write, it is evaluated. So most of the fees which you pay actually goes into evaluation, right? So if you, and the fees is also decent here, and majority if you have taken discount and this and right. The thing is, for 1 lakh something, we are giving much more than what any other institution in India actually offers. So every Sunday the test you are giving will be evaluated, and I want you to make use of it. right? So that will boost your confidence slowly. And if you start giving test now, by the time mains comes, it will be like 50 weeks or 60 weeks, more than 50 weeks, right? So more than 50 mains test, and also you will have monthly test and fortnightly test, and then you will have mains test series, and you will have something called core batch. Next year also it will be there, and this year also super core batch. After mains, every year we do super core batch. So some of you, those 3-4% who are confident, can manage OGP with the super core batch. Super core batch is every once in 2 to 3 days there will be a test, separate timetable. It is mainly writing exercise to help you become really good with respect to every aspect of the syllabus from the mains perspective. So there will be an entrance examination for that super core, and those who are regular, those who are consistent, they are the ones who usually clear. We take only 40 students for super core batch. Even this year core batch we are planning to take only 50 students, 50 brilliant, and we want talents from all over India to come to Bengaluru, right? So the Bangalore weather is good, right? Bangalore weather is good. Even Delhi now the heat is very high, and Delhi distractions are more, right? Here the distractions are less, and accessibility of mentors, personal guidance, so it is more common and readily available here. So the serious student, the group of serious students, that is also in terms of percentage it is high here in Bangalore. So what happens, you will get good peer group, and most of the students who are in the core batch, I see them cracking prelims and clearing mains on a regular basis. All the people I mentioned earlier, they were part of the core batches. So it gives you opportunity to, so when you show the eagerness to improve, so we will go one step ahead and give the core batch, and there further you can improve, right? So within the pool of 40 students, means those who are selected through competitive exam, entrance exam, everyone will be serious. So you will get a very serious peer group, friend circle. So and because of the less number you will gel together, and after prelims also you will have a group to discuss each and every test. So yesterday itself I met 2 students from core batch. They were telling like how core batch has helped them score 100 plus in prelims, and how it has given group of 4 for them to discuss on a regular basis, right? So even within OGP also you will find them, but when the discussion and everything, whatever happens in the classroom, let it be mutually beneficial. It should not be like one sided. So as I said, don't be dependent, right? You also learn and share, let them also learn and share, and especially with respect to answer writing, prelims, previous year question, discuss them. CSAT questions, so we have a very good CSAT faculty, 2 faculties are there. So CSAT questions start now only. Those who come from humanities background, those who have fear of CSAT, so start with previous year questions, start with CSAT questions of other examinations, NDA, CDS, right? Take the questions, go to your mentors, go to a CSAT teachers and get them, or get the solution for those questions, right? So continue this exercise consistently, and what you are going to become IAS. We will never tell you that we are going to give you material, notes, read those notes, read those materials, and you are going to become topper. I am never going to lie, I am never going to be dishonest. This exam is really very difficult, not from the knowledge perspective, from the perspective of testing your limits of your patience, right? Your personality itself. In each and every paper is designed to test your personality as well, from prelims to interview. So that secret, if you notice, and give more weightage to becoming the strong individual, right? You withstand every kind of pressure, every kind of distraction without getting deviated. You withstand that particular thing. Stay focused. Even when you feel like you are not learning well, you are not performing well, stay strong. Slowly, eventually you will start performing well, right? It is just that in those moments, don't get distracted, don't deviate. Stay strong, come to us, come talk to us, keep writing, right? So there was one Abhishek Gowda, right? So he was he is a doctor, Abhishek Gowda. He was from Kannada medium. Though doctor, he had studied purely in Kannada medium and he was afraid to write essays. He was part of the OGP, he got IAS and he is in the Andhra Pradesh now. So when he was writing essays, the grammar used to be very bad. The English was wrong, very basic. But that particular individual, he was very soft, like he used to speak very less. So in Andhra Pradesh, if you come across, he won't talk much, like he is very limited in his words, right? He would come to me and ask, like, what is the way to improve essay? So I recommended him more writing, but just mere writing won't help, right? You should read more, you should think more, then only it will be visible. So Jaydev and Abhishek Gowda were in the same batch. Jaydev was already a brilliant writer. So for him, I had to tone down, bring down to UPSC level. So for Abhishek, from basic to UPSC level, we had to elevate. So he wrote, I think, more than 40 or 50 essays. I kept on evaluating. In the beginning, I used to give like 10, 20, 25, 30. So by the time, just 1 month before examination, I started noticing huge improvements. Started giving like 65, 70. 65, 70. Jaydev got 143, he got 142. Abhishek Gowda. He started from zero. The only factor is that, just like Jaydev, he was willing to unlearn, he was willing to learn equally, right? So he kept on writing and it rewarded, and he got IAS. So in another 6-7 years, he is going to be DC in Andhra Pradesh, right? I mean, since then, I don't know how many numbers of people he has sent for admission here, right? So because of the faith, and we haven't failed also. Whoever has come, we have done justice to them and given time to them. So it all depends on you. If you are really serious, we are already more serious. So we will show more seriousness in your favor, right? So please make use of the facilities here, and I have this mission, like nearly 100 toppers by 2028 or by 2029 from Karnataka. You can come from other state also, but from Karnataka, that is, earlier Tamil Nadu used to get highest number of civil servants, right? So the number has kind of equalized between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, right? Thanks to Insights IAS, Karnataka ranks have gone up because of Insights IAS. There is no other way around to tell this, because before 2014-15 we used to have like 5-6 ranks. Now we have 25 to 30 ranks every year. So that number can be still improved to 50, eventually 60, right? If we keep working hard, who knows, that can reach 100. So we want more number of officers from Karnataka in Delhi, right? Everywhere, to develop Karnataka further, because we lack that bargaining power, when it comes to Karnataka. Flood, no response. Drought, no response. Lack of poor infrastructure, no response. So when you have officers bringing investment, big investment, IFS officers or something like that. So when we have a good number of officers, especially coming from every section, more from rural part of Karnataka, I think the development will be equitable, more inclusive, right? So they will be more sensitive to the people. So that is the larger mission. So I hope all of you will do justice to your own expectation, your parents' expectations, our hard work in addition to your hard work, and conscience, Atma Sakshi, right? Be truthful to your own conscience, so that will never allow you to deviate. So you will go through lots of difficult phases, starting with food problem, accommodation problem, right? Sometimes you feel like giving up, it becomes overwhelming, too much to do when you start balancing with optional, right? So personally by December you have to complete optional subject. So every day 2 to 3 hours for optional. Choose optional wisely. So don't waste your time, waste years by choosing wrong optional. My suggestion, don't go for mathematics, don't go for physics, chemistry, botany or zoology unless you have interest in Indian Forest Service and unless during you have done masters in them, right? Only if you have done masters and only if your understanding of these science subjects are professional courses including electrical, mechanical and civil engineering is really good based on your academic performance during your graduation and post graduation days, and if it matches with the syllabus and previous year questions, and if you feel like you can really do justice, then only go with this. Otherwise, if you have to give more effort again on these subjects, like redoing all these subjects after your graduation, please don't go for them, because majority of you who are sitting here, you have to build your general studies base from the scratch, right? You have to give more time for general studies papers. So don't give like 5-6 hours time to mathematics, electrical, mechanical, right? Only if you're really good, then only go with them. If you're not going to give time to them right now, go with them. Second, humanities optional always perform better. Political science, sociology, anthropology, geography, to some extent public administration used to be bad, it has picked up, doing well. Public administration and literature of any subject. So these 6-7 optionals do well, to some extent psychology also, but I personally recommend one of these 6 optionals, right? Don't be rigid about it. So some people even now, if they have done MSc mathematics, MSc physics, they come and tell I want to go with maths or physics. Personally, I won't recommend, for the reason that it doesn't save your time. I was talking about smart work, right? Smart preparation also involves wisely choosing optional and saving your time. Nobody comes here with writing practice, writing skills. It takes lots of time to improve those skills. So your time and focus should be majorly on those aspects, right? So choose optional wisely. You can come and talk to me, your mentors, regarding which optional to take. So choose like 3 subjects, go through their previous year questions and syllabus, and you can watch toppers videos. Just spend 1 month time, it's fine, just to choose the right optional. Don't jump immediately, right? Just because someone is starting classes, don't jump immediately. If you already pre-decided, that's fine, but right now take your own time and decide about the optional. But once you decide, ideally by December you need to complete your optional with notes, right? And January, February you should be able to write a test series with respect to that particular optional. So answer rating. So if you do this, rest GS will be taken care as part of the OGP and our test series. Optional, by January, February you will be ready for the mains. So prelims confidence, I am very sure it will go on increasing, but practice is the key. So from now itself start practicing. Again, most of the people start practicing after the classes, so they panic before the prelims, right? It is your mistake. So and then you come and say that, okay, before prelims I have to still do previous year questions. You have enough time to start everything from now itself. Will you all of you do it? Yes to your conscience, not to me, right? Yes anmele you have to do it. Make this entire UPSC preparation short and sweet. Maximum 3 years, 2 attempts, right? Maximum 3 years, 2 attempts. Who knows? There may be many Neha Kumaris, Nandini KR, Jayadeva, Abhishek Gowda sitting in the classroom. It all depends on you. So choice is yours to become them or better than them. The choice is always yours. It's that much simple. You have to choose it and you have to stick to that path and keep on moving forward, keep on progressing, right? So wish you all the best. Yenadru doubt idre you can ask. Whatever doubts you have, you can ask. No doubts. How many of your engineering background? Yes, the whole class. How many of your science background? BSc, MSc? Good, good, good. Humanities? BA, BCom? Good. Law background, anyone? No. So majority of your engineers. No, 60% of the engineers crack this examination. And all the engineers, I mean 80% of the engineers choose humanity subjects as their optional. There is a data. The DOPT has prepared, right? So 86% I think, they choose humanities subjects. Very rarely people choose their own professional subjects. So how about Bangalore? All of you settled? How many of you are from Bangalore? Okay. So all of you are from outside Bangalore. So if you are from Bangalore, my suggestion is don't study from your home. I mean, if there is no distraction, it is fine. So if there are distractions and other things, locate to near to the institution and then prepare. If there are no distraction, it is fine. You can come early in the morning here, spend your time, go back in the evening. And earlier orientation I used to talk about this relationship issue, right? Don't fall into any relationship. Even if you fall, have self-control, discipline, right? What is more important? That is what, no, we lose sight of the bigger picture and we get into all the small, that's because of the underconfidence, insecurity, right? The dependency increases. The dependency should not be there. The falling into relationship, even when after graduation, post graduation, coming here, there is nothing wrong, love, mine is also love marriage, love and love, marry or loved and whatever it is, but choose the right time, right? If you are already in love, so ask her to wait. More than waiting, right? Don't trouble each other, like whichever genders, right? These are important actually. These are really important. The mind should be totally free. The mind should not be occupied with other worldly problems, right? There is something called mindfulness, right? Living in the moment. So past troubles, future tensions, so don't worry about them. So live in the present. To live in the present, you should have the self-confidence. You should be relaxed. To be relaxed, you should know what exactly you are doing. You have seen life from the bigger perspective. So if you start getting attached with small things, so then you won't be able to achieve bigger things, right? So that is why the personality becomes really important. You have to quickly move on. You face a failure today, how quickly you are able to overcome that, right? That decides your success. If you keep attaching to that failure or whatever setback and keep thinking about it, I should have avoided this silly mistake, I should have listened to them, I should not have done this regret, guilt. Don't be regretful about anything, don't feel guilty about anything. It's very common for everyone to make mistakes. You know that, like, it's part of our lives. That only completes us, making mistakes. But immediately move on. It's fine. Forgive yourself, forgive others, whatever it is. Immediately move on. Then you will see faster growth in your personality, in your learning, everything. So that is extremely difficult to do. But once you master it, once you start doing that, right, then you will see great results. You will attract good people. You will attract good knowledge. So when you come across a strong, right, an individual with clear goal, not somebody who complains, not somebody who gossips, not somebody who criticizes everything, right? So just you know what to do, you stick to that particular thing. So your class idea today, or from tomorrow you have classes? Tomorrow, na? Okay. So aaytappa chocolates kodu. So this is custom at Insights IAS for every new batch. We will give you a small Cadbury. We choose Cadbury only, right? Online batch. So for those who are taking online classes, my suggestion is at least once or twice in a month come and meet us, right? So once or twice in a month, that is step number one, very important. And other than that, everything is similar to the class will be live, and whatever things I asked people to do, keep doing them, keep write test every week. Maybe you can choose a public library, right? If you want that exam like environment, go there and write the exam instead of writing from the comfort of your home. Because online what I noticed is that instead of taking 3 hours, they take 4 hours to write the test. Instead of 2 hours or 1 hour, they take more time. So to have the self discipline, so that is the most important. But regularly communicating with mentors is important. Other than that, I don't think you need any special guidance unless you are working. So you are not working, right? So even if you are confident that in one attempt you are going to crack this examination. Good, very good. In 2 attempts, rest of you like 2 attempts, 3 attempts. Maintain this confidence. It is possible, perfectly possible. We have done that. We have seen people doing it. We have guided people in that regard, right? You are not sitting in some remote place and dreaming about it. So you are sitting in a place where it has been done before, and we are confident of repeating it again, right? The only thing is that we want you to be ready. We want you to be strong, right? If you ensure that particular thing, then it is done. Have you seen failures in your life? Have you experienced failures? What kind of failures? Yes. Huh? Love failure. Huh? PUC. You had failed in PUC. Very good. And then you took another year and wrote. Very good. Science or commerce? Good, good. Is there anyone who failed in graduation? Good. Like, it's okay. Raise your hand. Nothing to be ashamed of. And any other big failures like economic failures, overcoming those difficulties in your life, parents, you, seeing your parents struggle. All of you have gone through those things, right? So then you are already strong within, right? You are already strong within. It is just here. And also, after 2 years, better to get higher education or get into a job. After completing coaching, after giving one really very serious attempt, right? Maximum 3 years, minimum 2 years. Get into higher education. Like IITs are offering very good courses. Colleges like National Law School, JNU, DU, they offer really very good courses, right? So better to get into those courses and continue preparation. Don't get stuck full time in this UPSC preparation, right? After 2 to 3 years, I mean what I am trying to say, intensely prepare for next 1.5 years as part of the course. Give the examination in 2025 if you are confident, right? Or 2026. But once you give the examination after mains, right? After mains, whether it is in 26 or 25, immediately get into some kind of job or some kind of higher education. So that is something based on your interest. Job need not be your software job. It can be anywhere based on your interest, right? So that is why developing hobbies and interest is useful. So based on that, get into something, continue giving the exam. By that time, you don't need to give like same 10 hours, 12 hours of prelim preparation. 4 to 5 hours is enough. Mains also, once you have completed optional, once you know how to write essay, once you know how to write answers, right? Done optional. Even for mains also 5 to 6 hours preparation will be enough. So that is one big mistake many people make, right? So don't do that. And in the beginning, save your forest service attempts, right? When you write in 25, 26, don't put forest service, right? Or if you want to check your performance, only put forest service, give prelims. If you don't want to write forest service, you can apply only for forest service and save civil service attempts also. You got this, just to know the examination, right? So because in prelims you can give either both or only one of them. So attempt will be counted for which exam you actually write. The attempt will be saved for which you don't apply. Anyway, regarding all of these things, we will be talking whenever you come to us. So once again, really happy to see you, all of you here. I hope most of you will go on becoming familiar with us and get the guidance from us. I am going to be here. So I have taken a slight deviation from my path for 1 year. Some of you might be knowing, I don't want to talk about it. So that was part of my own life journey. So wanted to explore the life for the betterment of society and also for my own adventurism, right? Contested as independent candidate in Davangere, right? So did decently well in my very first attempt, right? So and I am not scared of failure, I am not scared of criticism. Whatever I told you, I live by that, right? So I just quickly move on, try to build something, and the institution is a very important part of the whole scheme, right? Giving good officials, creating good political leaders in the future, right? First myself becoming and then trying to create a path for others for the development of the entire the society, for the betterment of the country. It's a small ambition, so trying to do well. Now after giving this personal first attempt with intense preparation, I don't know, some of you followed, you will know that it was like too intense. So now I have so much of time to give for the institution and give for the students, just like I used to do from 2014 to 2022 or like till middle of 23. So last year I didn't take mock interviews. For half the period I was there for the mains guidance. I did evaluate essays and everything. After like 1 or 2 months before mains, I got engaged there. But henceforth, I learned to balance. So I will be in the institution, right? At least 4 days in a week I will be there. Earlier also that is how I used to be. So whenever I am here in the institution, I want you people to come not for discount but for essay evaluation, right? Essay evaluation, answer evaluation, right? Write something, come with genuine doubts related to the preparation and keep meeting your mentors. Sometimes they may not be available, but don't lose patience, right? Don't become that, that angry young people, angry young man. In your youth, it is common. When you are in the age of 18 to 21, you call impatient. Especially the world has made us impatient. Everything is quick. Swiggy, 10 minutes, right? Everything fingertip, everything available instantly. So don't expect the similar thing. Sometimes it can get delayed, but it will be available. So have patience, right? So patience is the biggest virtue. So practice, and I pray for your success. I want to see all of you really succeed and become very good officers for the country, right? The country is really poor. It is not developing also, to be honest. If some village part, you will know I did Padayatra, I have seen the village, the rural part, and the situation is really bad. So if we are in this artificial intelligence, still there is so much of large scale open defecation, right? Because there is no water. People don't do voluntarily because there is no water, right? There is no enough money to build their own toilet, right? There is so much of economic insecurity, the financial insecurity. People don't have enough money to get, send their children to schools. Government schools, there's pathetic education. This education inequality. One kind of education for government school children, another kind of education for all these big international school or NPS or whatever schools. People who have money, they send to better schools and they keep reaping all the benefits. Those who study in government school, where it's the responsibility of you officers and the government, somehow to mobilize resources, bring those government schools on par with the best schools. That is the justice, right? That is when so much of talent that is there in the villages will find an opportunity to develop, get more opportunities. So you are totally denying them. Here and there we make, develop 4 or 5 schools in the entire Karnataka as model schools, and then we claim we are doing something about. No, most of the money is looted, right? Both by officers and politicians. There is so much work to be done. That is what I meant by good officers. So I hope you come with this conscience alive, your heart beating for the people, for the development, and so never get attracted with all this power, car, building, right? So don't let them attract you. It's all temporary, so that won't give you long-term motivation, right? The long-term motivation is serving and finding your satisfaction by serving. So keep doing that. So wish you all the best. Thank you. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್? ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್? You have doubt? Hey, chocolate.